You're live. Hello, TCI family, Jonathan's Refuge, and all of our faithful followers and friends. Let's jump into our message tonight. So, we've been talking about mindsets. How do we get mindsets? It's the question I'm probably brought in the most to answer for people in the business world and professional world, successful coaching. Everyone wants to know the secret. How do you get that mindset? Well, I'm going to tell you who I got. One of the key people that I got a big part of my success mindset. Okay. And who was this person that helped me get the mindset? Well, he's pretty famous. His name is Dr. Dennis Waitley. Dr. Dennis Waitley wrote this book called The Psychology of Winning. Now, if you don't have this little book, it's small, it's quick, easy to read. It's not a big, long, drawn out book. And Dr. Dennis Waitley was the psychologist for the Apollo astronauts to get men into outer space who had never been there and have no clue what's coming and if they're going to die or not. The anxiety of that unknown factor was so powerful. And Dr. Waitley helped these men get through it like it was nothing. Then he went on to be our psychologist for the United States Olympic athletes and has done an amazing job there. One of the favorite stories I hear him talk about, I always forget the athlete's real name, but he was a redheaded kid and he was a track and field. And I think they referred to him as Carrot Top, not the comedian in Vegas, but this was back in the 70s. And this young man just set, I always forget the name of the jump, but it's where there's a bar and he runs and then just jumps up and arches his back over the bar and jumps down into a big mat. And this kid just set the world record, the new world record that no one thought was possible. And I don't remember what the heights were. So I'm going to give you numbers. We're using fictitious numbers. I don't know what they really were. But let's say the world record was now 6 feet. Okay. Dennis comes out to meet the athletes for the first time. And the coach said, so what's going to happen is they like to do a warm up. And so they wanted him to meet this athlete, Carrot Top guy. And the redhead athlete. So they go ahead and tell him what the redhead's routine is. And he normally comes out. And if the world record is 6 foot, he likes to practice at 5'2", do his first couple warm-ups, and then we up it a little and so on. And that's how we start a practice. He says, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go and set the bar for 6 foot 1 inch. And the coach says, you didn't hear me. We start at 5'2", and then he warms up and we keep raising it up. And just so you know, the world record's 6. So you can't go higher than what the world record is. You can't do that. It's not possible. He just broke what no one thought was possible. And Dr. Waitley said again, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure I have the right to tell you, you have to do this. And so he did. He forced them. They raised the bar to 6'1" or whatever the number was, just 1 inch above the world record. Kid comes out, sees the bar. Coach lies straight to the kid's face and says, it's all set. And the kid assumes that means it's all set for your pre-warm-up. So he assumed it was the 5'2", right? And then he runs, jumps over it, arches, perfect, flawless, doesn't knock the pole down, and just set a new world record. They bring him over to meet Dennis, the doctor with the science of the psychology of winning. And they tell him what he just accomplished. And when he says it, he says, no, that's what I just broke the world record at the Olympics, and that was the 6 foot. He goes, no, I'm congratulating you on the breaking that record. You just broke that world record in the Olympics. You just broke it here. It's recorded on film, and we have it all, and you're the new world champ again. He's like, what? You guys lied to me? They did. They did not tell him it was his normal. They made him think it was his normal. You can say that's lying. I don't care. They didn't lie to him. They said it's all set. He assumed it was the same as always. They just didn't tell him they moved it up. So his mindset said, I can jump this. His body knew he had to jump more. His body was like, this ain't normal. You got to clear that thing. His eyes assessed it. His brain and every neuron's popping off telling the body, okay, make sure you guys jump because that ain't 5'2", man. That's higher than what we just did. Here we go. He didn't do any of that. He just ran and thought he was doing a warm-up. How does the body do that? Well, your brain's faster than you are, and you only use about 10 to 15% of it. So this man had a mindset that was unlimited. Have you ever watched the movie Unlimited? It's a great movie if you haven't ever watched it. Go watch it right now tonight. Dennis taught people that if you, and I want to actually read part of the ending of the book to you, like just a couple highlights. Dennis says visualization plus internalization will equal realization. Now, let me explain this very clearly. You can sit in your bedroom all day long and say, I am going to lose 30 pounds this month. You can walk out every day and say, I am going to lose 30 pounds this month. You can tell every friend in social media, I'm going to lose 30 pounds this month. But if you, that's your visualization. But if you don't internalize it, if you don't create the plan and you don't take the action, you can sit there all day long and say you're going to lose 30 pounds, but you're not going to lose even an ounce. Because, see, thoughts are great, but what do we got to do with the thought? Dr. Waitley says we got to take and internalize it and create our path. So you have this thought, I want to lose weight. I have this thought, I want to be a happier person. So what else does he say? He says protect yourself as a total winner, and you have to project it. You have to project this. So I have to project that I'm a winner at my home. See, it starts at home. That's why I tell all the men at the refuge the same thing the military teaches us. Make your bed. If you don't make your bed, you're throwing away the greatest chance to start your day off with success. Great speech by a retired Rear Admiral of the United States Navy who was a Navy SEAL. He got very irate when he went into the Navy school to become a Navy SEAL, and he went through their basic training and passed. But while going through it, he was pissed off because they made him make his bed. And he said, listen, I'm a trained killer by the United States Navy. I am the best of the best, and I'm sailing through as a Navy SEAL through this program. What the hell do I need to make my bed for? And they said, we're not going to tell you. It's none of your business what our reason is behind it. If you pass, we'll let you know. He passed, and he went right up and said, now I want to know why. And they said, because if you start your day off making your bed, you've made one thing that you set on your goal. You did it, and you've accomplished it. The rest of the day is easy. You've already set goals and accomplished the first one of the day. How hard is the rest of it? It's not. But if you can't even make your own bed, then don't talk to me about all your dreams, because they're all just worthless thoughts. That's all they are. They're worthless thoughts because you can't take the first step to do something simple. What else does he say? He says, project your winner at home, professionally, in the community, in the nation, among all people, and in the universe, both natural and spiritual. Hear this. It's not just the natural, it's the spiritual. First, the spirit. Second, the natural. So everything that I have created came through my spirit. Everything I've manifested in my life was a thought that I internalized, created a plan, followed a system, and it all comes to pass. Literally this week, my wife and me were talking with somebody and telling this, and my wife said, stop! Don't tell me anymore! Because I was trying to sit her down like a week ago and tell her about this house. It's the perfect house. We're going to buy this. This is on this river. It's all $900. It's $1 million and blah. And I'm going and telling her how it's going to all happen. And she's like, stop! I don't want to see it. I don't want to talk. Don't talk no more. We just had a bunch of stuff we were doing. And I'm like, I'm confused. I'm just talking. It's not like we're buying it. She says, stop it. Because when you, Mr. Brown, say something's going to happen, it happens. You said we're going to get this, and you got the boat. And you said this was going to happen, and you got that. You said this would build, and you bought that, and this thing happened, and then that thing happened. And it all happens. Now, inside, I was chuckling because I love that. And so was she. We were being joking about it. But the reality is, after she said that, I've been sitting pondering this for quite some time. And I've asked a few of my mentors to talk to me about this topic because I feel really good inside. I'm at a place in my life where I can create anything I want. So when I say I'm building $1 trillion business that is going to transform the prison world, it's going to happen because I don't say it unless I'm going to internalize it. And I've already internalized it, and I've already created the plan, and I've already taken the steps of action. Now I'm just repeating until it all comes to fruition, step by step, process by process, stone by stone. You don't build a great cathedral by showing up and saying the cathedral's built. You start with the groundwork, the dirt work, the earthwork. Then you move into the foundation work, and then you move into all the stuff you got to get in the plumbing, and all that stuff takes time. See, my mindset allows me. I have a winner's mindset. Winner doesn't mean rich. I get sick of people saying, well, I don't want to be rich. When I hear someone say that, I'm sorry. What does rich mean? Rich means you don't have to worry. Wealth, what does it mean? It means you don't have to worry. How do I eat today? Do I need a budget? Is today where I look for the Taco Tuesday specials because I don't have enough money? You see, I remember when I was first married to my first wife, and I remember that at Jack in the Box on Harbor Boulevard and close to this place called Orange Thorpe Ave or Catella by Disneyland, okay, close to where I lived, was a Jack in the Box. And you could get 2 tacos for 99 cents. But back then, I think it was 4 tacos for 99 cents. It was crazy on Tuesdays. So we'd go buy enough tacos to last like 3 days worth of meals because it was the cheapest thing you could get. It was horrible, but it was the cheapest thing. Wealth means you don't have to do that anymore. You can choose to eat healthy food. You can choose to have a nice meal and not feel guilty about having spent a good quality time with your wife or your husband or your children or your grandchildren. You don't question anymore. I got to go get a washer and dryer. Oh, Lord. They got that used store down the street, where we always go. I mean, they got good stuff there, but you know how that goes. You buy it and then 6 months later it's broken. You got to go down and buy another one and then another $100 and then another $100 every 6 months and the wear and tear, and you got to get it and take it. How about we just go spend $2,500 and go buy the brand new one, whatever the best is, so it lasts and it works and people can use it if they need to. How do you get to that peace of mind? See, wealth to me is about peace. Wealth is about peace. And you get that through the psychology of winning by having a mindset. Dr. Waitley also says this. He says, if you want to be loved, be lovable. If you want to be respected, set a respectable example. I can't tell you how many years I've been reading this book. It's old, it's weathered. I listen to most of it on Audible now, and I usually listen to Dr. Waitley on a monthly basis because sometimes weekly. This book needs to be ingrained in you. I now speak it. If you read it, you're going to go, dude, that's what Rev says. It's because I have became part of the book has become part of me. His system is part of my system. And I have acquired a mindset. Now, I'm going to share with you a goal that I'm in the process of. Today is Thursday, Monday of this week. I was very frustrated with my health situation. As you know, I had the gallbladder taken out. They can't stop me from puking. My stomach's messed up. I puke everything up. Nothing goes through my system. It gets backed up. I can't exercise because if I put any stress on my body, it pukes. So I'm puking at the gym. I'm puking in the mountains. I'm puking with my granddaughters on a trip. I'm done because I can't eat certain foods that if I just had a certain diet, I could drop 50 pounds. I have the secret, literally. You can see board members of our organization who I've given the secret to, they've shedded 50, 60 pounds. It's no problem. Why am I still struggling with this last 50 pounds? I don't understand. And then I heard something by Dr. Joe Dispenza, who reminded me of this book. And then it hit me. Wow. My mindset, I'm done. So I was trying to figure it out. Now, I'm not going to tell you what I'm eating because that's for a whole nother story. But since Monday, that's 4 days, I've dropped 7 pounds. And that's not miraculous. That's by design. And I can do this anytime. Simple, but yet it's the hardest thing you'll ever do. It's the hardest thing I'll do. Now, I have proclaimed this to everyone. I want to lose 30 pounds this month. I have set my goal to get under that 200 bracket by Christmas. Will I make it? I don't know. If I fail and only got 25 pounds off, I would be a success, which is one of my favorite sayings that I coined many years ago. Dream a dream so big that in your failure, you still succeed. So I'm going for 160 pounds. I want to lose all the weight and see if that can transform my heart. There's some doctors tell me that's the key. So we're going to give it a shot. I've got down to 160 before, and I felt like I was a skeleton. I didn't feel good, healthy, but I'm doing it different this time. And we're going to do it with medical and exercise and building up muscle, lean muscle. And so I'm changing my entire life. It's hard. It's scary. It's unknown. But I want to be here for my granddaughters. And I want to grow old with my wife. See, I love my wife. I love holding her hand. My favorite trip I ever had with my wife was this one trip we drove the coast from San Diego. We did Pacific Coast Highway, Highway 1. Not Highway 101, Highway 1, where it literally hugs the ocean of the Pacific from Mexico to Canada. It was one of the most, there wasn't like it was a ton of stuff said. Most of it was just music playing and us, oh, look at that. Oh, look at this. Pull over, get a picture, right? I sometimes get teary-eyed when I think of that trip. I love spending time with my wife. And so when I struggle lately, my cardiovascular system's attacking me at night. So we're trying to figure out what's changed. And I get a lot of angina, and I have to get up because it's painful. And so I don't want to wake my wife when I go into the living room, or I head over to the office or do something to just distract. So I'm not getting in and out and waking her up because, she's the CEO and general manager of one of our nonprofits, and she works tirelessly. So, I mean, we both do, but each one of us try to respect the other's sleep time. Well, I want to be old. I want to be on the Highway 1s with her as an old man. So to do that, I have to change. Now, you're saying, but these aren't your fault. You had surgeries. No, it's not my fault. They're legit excuses. Listen, folks, I have legit excuses why I can't lose the weight right now because I'm puking my guts out. I can't eat things. I can't hold anything down. Nothing's working. I have every doctor signing off on this. Nobody can give me grief about it. But I say, suck it up, Buttercup, right there. Suck it up, Buttercup. You can do this. It's just you don't want to because it's really going to be hard because you got to eat like 3 things only for 30 days. Wow. Okay. And then you're going to be excited and you're going to do it for another 30. And you're probably going to do it for the next 3 months, 90 days, and you shred all the weight. But wait, 90 days seems like a lifetime. If you're sitting out there and you're over 250 pounds, if I told you in 90 days I could show you how to get under 200 pounds and your knees would thank you, you could bend over, you could have a better sexual life, you could have a better cardiovascular life, you could have a better attitude because you'll be happier as a person, your whole world would change. But yet you won't put 90 days of your freaking life on the line to fix yourself? Well, sucks to be you. And what you get for it is your own. Don't come crying. People can change if you choose to. I have no cartilage in my knees, so for me to get on the ground and get up, it's so painful. I've got bags of pain meds that I keep in a safe because I don't use them. I got Percocet, I got oxycodone, I got everyone they get because they just want to shove drugs down me to solve the pain. And I say, I'm good. I only take it if I really am about to pass out from the pain because I don't need it because I have a mindset. So we'll see. Will I lose weight? I lost 7 pounds so far. And I'm very proud of that because I have this mindset. See, I want to be around for a long time. I am very loved. Why am I loved? Because I am lovable. See, he said, if you want to be loved, be lovable. If you want to be respected, create a respective program for yourself to others. I use the word yes, sir, and yes, ma'am to almost everybody. It's the way I was taught in Georgia. If you haven't been to the South, I really would encourage you to go hang out in the South for a vacation or two. Learn a thing or two about how the Southern people are very respectful and create an environment of respect. And don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean they're all perfect people. They're a bunch of jerks there just as they are here. But it's something that stuck with me, being polite, treating a person the way you want to be treated. And so all of a sudden, if you find yourself not being respected, it's probably because you're not respecting. And you know something? I had analyzed this week my driving habits. And guess what? I've changed. This week, I made a change. I'm done. I'm tired of being aggravated in the car. I allow people to own part of my life. And a lot of my life's in a car or on a motorcycle or in a boat. And it's like, OMG, really? Why? And there's a great book. And it's Wisdom from the Stoics, which is the Greek Stoics, and I'll talk about that later another time. But my mindset, it's locked in. I'm zeroed in, and I've got my goal, and it's right there, man. And they're not touching it. They're not stopping me. I'm not touching it, and I'm not stopping me until I get all the way there what I want. The health, the weight loss, the heart, the vascular system, everything will be in line because my mindset is there. And like my wife said and reminded me, everything I've ever asked for in the universe comes to me. I started just a few short years ago after a divorce of 19 and a half years with $20 to my name. You might as well say I had nothing, but I did have $20 for full disclaimer. And I built back a multi-million-dollar enterprise. How is that possible? It's because I had a blueprint, and it's worked every time. I have a blueprint called the positive mindset. I can overcome anything. Do you ever think the world's falling apart and there's angry people out there trying to do bad things? If you feel like that's coming at you, it's probably because you're the one doing it to others. If you think people are cutting you off on the freeway, hold on, I'm about to step on my own toes. It's probably because I cut people off on the freeway. We reap what we sow. What is your husband doing to you? It's probably what you're doing to him. What are you doing to your wife? It's probably what she's doing to you. It's a sad process because we don't see it and we just keep circling this negative crap. So I'm done. I had an awakening. I had an epiphany. I had a moment where I was enlightened, where I heard clear direction from the Creator. I'm grateful that I have that ability to get peaceful and hear His voice amongst chaos. Because when she speaks to me, I listen. And when I listen, success follows every time. But I also know it's going to take a lot of work. And I'm going to end with this because you need to know the next stage. So if you want to become, bear with me, if you want to become like this sword, this is a Chris, executioner's sword. This Chris, this is all made out of silver here, and it's got battle scenes and stuff. The executioner sword is made out of Damascus steel. If you look close, right there, you can actually see where the fingerprint, the thumbprint of the actual man who made this. And by the way, this was made 400 years ago. And I want you to see this real quick. I want you to see some of the artwork on that. Look at the, if I can get the camera, like the nose work right here. It's actually showing you almost a face. And it's got a nose coming under. And this was all done 400 flipping years ago. The workmanship on this is just sick. When you look at what they did 400 years ago. Now, this Damascus steel and any other steel, to get to this fine, amazing piece of artwork that, unfortunately, when tested, has multiple DNAs on it because it was used to execute people. They would stand above them, placing it right in this little spot and then just go right through your heart. Quick and fast. But how do you get that to be that? How do you get the piece of this? Didn't come like this. A master mason, a stone mason, a steel mason, someone who worked with their hands, creative. They had to put a piece of steel, a piece of Damascus steel into this fire, this crucible. And they had to stoke it with air, and one guy's stoking, and there's air coming through, and it's burning at its hottest moment. And that metal, only at that hottest moment will that metal turn into putty. And then you take the hammer and you start beating it and working it and working it and working it and smoothing it and shaping it and forming it and back into the fire. And in the fire, it's hot and it's painful. And then the master craftsman pulls it out and starts working it until eventually it is this beautiful artwork, this beautiful weapon, this beautiful now piece of history. That's what you are. See, I don't see you with all your garbage. I don't see anybody with their addictions, with their past. I don't look at you as the sum of what you've done as who you are. I see this in you. I see the finished product. I see the silver sheath of royalty. I see the craftsmanship that has been put into you. And I know that you are a special person. And I know You might have been hurt by your mom, your dad, your stepmom, your stepdad. Maybe you were abused. Maybe you were put into a sick, twisted world. I'm sorry. But stop living it, because it all happened back then. And the fact that we keep thinking of it and going back to it is what's making us live a miserable life. And you and me are the only ones that can stop it. So if you want to be the fine, finished, choose to do so today. Choose to stop suffering in your heart. Choose to stop the pain. And only you can choose it. And if you really are struggling, please pick up the phone. Come sit down at the office with us. I would gladly walk you through this process with you if you need help. We love you. Any of our bishops are available to you. Our pastors are available to you. If you're in prison, out of prison, however you're watching this broadcast, we're here for you. And we want you to find the peace that we have. See, my wife and me walk through life in this peace now. And it's a daily process. A daily process. I know I went a few minutes longer than normal, but this message was important to me that I get this through, that the psychology of the proper positive mindset is the difference, because a lot of our friends out there and people we work with have a mindset, but it's the mindset of a loser. It's the mindset of a person who's always losing and getting beat up and always being on the bottom of it, always a hot mess, always the world's falling apart. It's a mindset that they're there. So their mindset is what must change. And to do that, it's going to be probably the hardest thing you've ever done. But yet, the process is simple. We're here to help you through that process. We love you guys. You're in our prayers. As you go out this week, let's coexist in society on this beautiful earth of ours with all of our people, Republican and Democrat. For those in America that are going through politics right now, it doesn't matter. Love your Democrats, even though they're idiots. Love your Republicans, even though they're idiots. Love all the people, even though there's idiots. Let's remember, it's okay to disagree. Let's agree to disagree. I love you guys. I really do. And I hope this series that we've been doing on the mindset is helping you transform your life. We love you all. God bless. You ready, babe?